Okay, let's dive in. We're looking at something pretty major today, the shutdown, it seems, of this huge online black market, possibly the biggest one the internet's ever seen, actually.
Yeah, it's kind of staggering. The numbers involved are just immense.
We're talking, what, over $27 billion in illicit transactions happening on Telegram, of all places.
Exactly. Billions. And, the fact it was on a platform like Telegram really raises questions about how this stuff operates, uh, sort of hidden in plain sight.
Right. And the trigger for this shutdown seems to be an inquiry from Wired.
That's right. Prompted by research from Elliptic, they're the crypto tracing guys, which seems to have forced Telegram's hand.
So, our mission today for you listening is to really unpack this, understand these marketplaces, what this takedown means, and what it signals about online crime going forward. We want you to grasp these big online shifts quickly.
Precisely. We're drawing mainly from that Wired report and the Elliptic data, which gives us the financial scale and the types of activities.
Okay, so let's start with the big one, Hawang Guarantee, or used to be called Huioni Guarantee.
Yeah, same operation. It was this Chinese language marketplace, been around for years on Telegram, basically a hub for crypto scammers and money launderers.
And that $27 billion figure, it's hard to even get your head around that kind of volume.
It really is. Their whole setup was interesting, too. They weren't selling stuff directly.
Right, they were more like a platform
Right.
for other vendors.
Exactly, using third-party vendors, deposit systems, escrow. Think of it like a slightly dodgy eBay for kernels, holding the money until the deal's done.
That guarantee part of the name must have helped building some kind of trust.
Definitely played a psychological role, yeah, to facilitate those huge sums.
And the services offered, it wasn't just financial crime, was it?
No, not at all. I mean, yes, lots of money laundering, especially using Tether, that's the stablecoin. Easier to move around than, say, Bitcoin sometimes for this stuff.
Okay.
But also victim data, for setting up future scams, telecoms infrastructure,
Like burner phones and SIM cards.
things like that. Yeah, beep fake software, too. But then it gets really dark.
The scam compound tools.
Yeah. Reports of TPS collars, electric batons, stuff apparently used to control workers, basically enslave them in scam operations in places like Myanmar, Cambodia.
It just takes it to another level. It makes the numbers, the billions, feel very real and very grim.
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
These aren't victimless crimes happening in cyberspace. There are real, often brutal consequences on the ground. Trading tools for coercion like that. It's deeply disturbing.
And then, boom, May 13th this year, Telegram starts banning accounts. And Hawang posts a notice on their site saying they're shutting down.
Right. And the notice itself was a bit odd.
Yeah, I saw that. Short, had a typo, mentioned blocked NFTs. What's that about?
Well, the NFTs likely refers to those blockchain usernames Telegram was experimenting with. It's just a weird detail, isn't it, for a $27 billion criminal empire's shutdown notice.
Very strange. And there's this link to a parent company, Huioni Group, based
Yeah.
in Cambodia.
Yeah, that connection suggests something more organized behind the scenes,
Yeah.
despite the weird NFT mention. A real-world base. Potentially powerful connections.
Okay, so Hawang wasn't alone. There was Shinbi Guarantee, too.
Correct. Another big Telegram market. Smaller, but still huge. About $8.4 billion in transactions since 2022.
And the range of services was even broader.
Seemed like it. Beyond the money laundering, there were reports of stolen data sales, even harassment for hire, and indications of sex trafficking. Really nasty stuff.
Jeez. And they got hit by the Telegram bans, too.
They did. Though apparently they tried to pop back up, launching new channels. Shows a certain persistence.
Or desperation.
Maybe both. It shows these groups don't just disappear overnight.
And then there's a third one, To Do Guarantee, linked to the Hawang owners.
Reportedly, yeah. The owners of Hawang supposedly have a stake, and apparently after the other two got shut down, To-Do saw a big influx of new users.
So it's like whack-a-mole. You shut one down, they just move over.
That's a perfect way to put it. It highlights how adaptable these networks are. Pressure one area, the activity shifts.
Yeah.
The overlapping ownership just underlines that.
So let's talk about Telegram's role here. They acted after Wired reached out using Elliptic's data.
Seems that way. Elliptic had been tracking Weona Howland since last July, and their report in January already flagged, what, $24 billion?
Right, so the activity wasn't exactly hidden, at least not from crypto tracers.
No. And Telegram's statement to Wired confirmed they took down the communities Wired reported, saying criminal activity is forbidden. Standard stuff.
But they didn't say much after Hawang actually announced the shutdown.
Not according to the reporting, no. which, makes you wonder how much proactive monitoring was happening before Wired with Elliptic's data basically forced the issue.
Yeah, that's the question. Were they turning a blind eye or just overwhelmed?
Hard to say from the outside. But the external pressure, backed by solid data, clearly made a difference.
Tom Robinson from Elliptic called it a huge win, a game changer, a big blow to the global scam epidemic. That's strong language.
It is. And it makes sense. If you disrupt the infrastructure these scammers rely on, the money laundering, the tools, the data markets, it can have a significant ripple effect. It hits their operations hard.
There's also mention of potential pressure from the U.S. Treasury's FinCEN Financial Crimes Enforcement Network.
Right. They'd apparently listed Huani Group, the parent company, as a money laundering concern.
Ah, okay, so that adds another layer. International regulatory heat building up.
It definitely suggests that. A FinCEN designation like that makes it really difficult for a company to interact with the legitimate financial system. It squeezes them. So it's likely a combination of factors: journalism, crypto tracing, and regulatory pressure.
But the big question remains, is this a lasting fix? Will Telegram keep up this kind of enforcement?
That's the multi-billion-dollar question, isn't it?
And maybe more crucially, where did these guys go next? Other messaging apps, decentralized platforms.
That's the fear. The cat-and-mouse game Robinson mentioned. As one platform gets tougher or riskier, they'll look for somewhere with less oversight. Decentralized services are a huge challenge for law enforcement because there's no central point to pressure.
And you mentioned the Huoni Group, the Cambodian connection. The reporting links them to some pretty powerful people, right? Even the ruling family.
Yeah, there are reports, like from Al Jazeera, mentioning Huntu, the prime minister's cousin, in connection with Huani businesses and alleged scam compounds.
Wow, if that's true, that kind of backing. Well, it suggests they have resources and protection that go way beyond just running some Telegram channels.
It absolutely complicates things. It means these aren't just digital ghosts. They have real-world clout, real-world resources that could definitely help them regroup and resurface, maybe in a different guise or on a different platform.
So definitely a big disruption, this takedown. A win, as Elliptic said, but probably not the end of the story for crypto scams or these operators.
Not by a long shot. Robinson's analogy was good. These are very large mice. It suggests the criminal ecosystem they built is significant. And it might take a long time for it to truly recover from this blow, but they will try to adapt.
Okay, so wrapping this up for you listening. The key takeaway is this massive online black market ecosystem on Telegram, facilitating billions in dirty money and enabling horrific crimes, seems to have been shut down, at least for now.
And this shutdown, triggered by external reporting and data, is seen by experts as a really significant dent in the global online criminal world, especially for crypto scams. It shows that these investigations and pressure campaigns can work.
Absolutely. So here's something to ponder. Given the money, the sophistication, and those alleged high-level connections we talked about, where do you think these networks might realistically pop up next? What platform? What country? And what does that mean for all of us trying to navigate online security and regulation when you're dealing with mice that big?